kids down in Kidville liked Christmas a lot.
But Miss Finch, who lived just south of Kidville, did not.
Miss Finch hated Christmas for some sort of reason.
Maybe she didn't like the apple pie season.
It could be that she got into a fight.
Maybe her cable wasn't hooked up just right.
But I think the most likely reason of all were the songs that they played nonstop at the mall.
Oh yeah, that would do it.
But whatever the reason, the songs or the pies, she would glare out the window with frustrated sighs.
They're on winter vacation,
she said with a frown.
There's trees and there's wreaths. They're all over town. For 42 years I've lived with this now. I've got to stop the season of Christmas. But how?
She puzzled and puzzled till her puzzler was sore.
But her thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door.
This had better not be carolers.
She scowled with a sneer.
If so, I will tell them to get out of here.
But when she opened the door, there were no carols heard.
There was just Mr. Jacobs not saying a word.
What do you want?
Said she with a tone most unpleasant.
He held out to her a neatly wrapped present.
What's this?
She said curtly, snatching the gift.
Oh, it's just something to give you a lift. I heard that your cable wasn't quite coming through. That's why I brought tools to fix that up too.
Inside the present was a thingamabob with a metal antenna and a black tuning knob.
A radio? For me? This must be a joke. No one gives gifts to non-Christmas folk.
It's no joke.
He said, cutting some wires.
I use mine to hear what my heart desires. Let's turn it on. Ah, see, never fails. It's one of my favorites. It's Paws and Tails.
Hello? Anyone here?
Over by the workbench, Fiona.
Oh, there you are. What are you doing today, Lionel?
Well, it's a little bit of an upgrade.
An upgrade? What kind of upgrade?
I'm rethinking the radio.
The radio. The one that we listen to all the time?
That's the one.
Well, what about it? It seems fine to me.
Oh, it is. But there's one problem that I'd like to correct about it.
Playing programs and songs isn't enough for you?
It's not very portable. I can't take it to different places very easily. I mean, sure, I can load it into the back of my truck and take it to the school theater or the library, but what if there was a way to make it smaller?
I see. But you've already done that with your remote transmitter receiver device.
True, but that's a bit of a mouthful. This way the kids can say,
Wow, what a grumpus he was.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's not like we did anything wrong.
I take it that's not what you were thinking, Lionel.
Hi, Gwen, Everett. What seems to be the problem?
It's your next-door neighbor.
Yeah, we were caroling in front of his house, and he ran us off saying how he hated Christmas and wished it was outlawed, or something like that.
Yeah, it was a little extreme.
I don't believe I've met this neighbor, Lionel.
Trust me, you're probably better off.
Fred Carlson isn't the most cheerful person in the neighborhood. I see him now and then, but he's been more reclusive these past few years.
Is he naturally that mean all the time, or just when people try to share holiday cheer?
Oh, he's typically that way, but I don't think he's chosen to be mean. He's had a pretty rough life.
Really? I would think if I had a rough life, I'd try to make some friends.
Well, I'd made it clear to him on several occasions that I'd like to be his friend. If he ever takes me up on it, I'll be here.
Sad.
So, since we're hearing everything, do you think we could listen to the radio or something?
That sounds like a good idea. You're looking pensive over there, Gwen.
I am.
Is there something on your mind?
I was just thinking about Mr. Carlson next door and what he said about hating Christmas. I've heard about people like that, but I never met one until today.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Now, Everett, it's not nice to call people names, even if they are unkind to us. You know that.
You're right. Sorry, Miss Fiona.
I just find it so weird that people are capable of not liking something as wonderful as Christmas. It must take a special kind of grumpy to make that happen.
Sometimes that's true, Gwen. But I can think of a few good reasons why people who aren't grumpy may not like Christmas.
A few? How many could there be, Mr. Jacobs?
To start with, sometimes Christmas brings with it emotional memories. Perhaps something bad happened on Christmas. Maybe Christmas reminds people of good times long lost. Whatever they might be, memories can make people so sad that they might feel they need to forget Christmas for a while.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that is pretty sad. But your neighbor didn't seem very sad. He just seemed angry.
Perhaps, Everett. But sometimes hard memories can make us mad, too. Especially when they are of people that we loved who died or were taken from us.
Is that what happened?
Well, it might be. I know Mr. Carlson had lost many family members over the years, so it's quite possible this is a hard season for him.
What are some other reasons people might not like Christmas, Mr. Jacobs?
Well, Christmas is a time when a lot of people go shopping. Everyone is running around buying trees, presents, decorations, and food, and...
That's a bad thing?
Not necessarily, Gwen. But what I think Lionel is saying is the busy time of year can be tiring, especially for the people who work at the stores and make deliveries. And when people get tired, it's easy for them to get cranky.
Kind of like my little sister after she's had a long day at daycare.
That's a pretty good example, Everett. There are other reasons people might not like Christmas, but hopefully these give you an idea of how it's possible.
Well, I still find it a little weird, but at least I understand it a little better. I've got to think about this some more.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Well, she's busy thinking. Can I listen to the radio?
Sure, Everett. Let's see what's on next.
Still looking pretty thoughtful there, Gwen.
Oh, I was just trying to figure something out.
Like how people could not like Christmas?
It's not that, Everett.
Oh, good. Because after Mr. Jacobs and Miss Fiona explained it to us, I lost interest pretty quick.
Well, what seems to be the problem, Gwen?
Well, like Everett said, you explained why some people feel the way they do about Christmas. But I was trying to figure out what we're supposed to do about it.
I see. Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, like Mr. Carlson, for example. Are we supposed to change his mind about the whole thing? Are we supposed to leave him alone? Do we pray for him? What does the Bible say about all this?
I don't know about you, Lionel, but the first Bible passage that comes to my mind is Luke 6, where Jesus tells us to treat people who are mean to us with kindness.
That's a pretty good one, Fiona. Other verses like Proverbs 15:1 and 1 Peter 3:9 tell us that when people treat us badly, the best reply is one with gentleness and kindness. It all comes down to doing what Jesus says in Mark 12:31.
Love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Loving them?
So, probably not singing Christmas carols whenever we see them, huh?
That's a pretty safe guess, Everett.
Does that help at all, Gwen?
Yeah, by now I probably should have guessed that loving people would be the answer to how we should treat them.
It is a rather standard teaching in the Bible.
Well, Gwen, we still have a bunch of carols that aren't going to sing themselves.
Oh, right. Want to join us, Mr. Jacobs?
That sounds like fun. Let me go get my coat.
Mind if I tag along?
Sure, here's our carol book. You know these, right?
I think I can hum along if I don't.
All right, ready to go. You want to turn off the radio?
All right.
Oops, I meant this one.
Oh, right. Sorry.